Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a new video with me, Fuzzball40. As always, if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe down below for all your FIFA 22 trading videos, teaching you how to trade on the game, how to grind the game, so you haven't got to spend your own money on the game. It's basically all this channel is about. I'm going to be running a full Road to Glory next year and one full trading account. So basically you'll be able to see how the coins stack up on the trading account and how to grind the game to get the best possible team. Before we get into this, I want to say thank you so much for the amazing words I had from all of you guys yesterday. If you haven't seen yesterday's video, it's worth you watching it and going back and checking it out. With regards to the condition I've been diagnosed with, it's called Wilson's disease. Basically, it will cause me to tremor every now and then like I am now. Sort of positive way to look at it. I'm going to be the world body popping champion at some point because that's literally what someone said it looks like, body popping, so it could be worse. But yeah, there were so many lovely words and I want to say thank you to all of you for that. But yeah, we move on anyway, we keep grinding it out. And now we're in the build up to FIFA 22 and I am extremely excited for it. I cannot wait for it. I've played the beta, it's very, very good, but that happened last year, it's happened before. And I'll sort of reserve judgment on how good the gameplay is when the game comes out. But what I am really looking forward to is the first promo, and it has the potential to be one of the biggest promos of FIFA 22. Purely because of the sheer amount of transfers that we had in the transfer window. I am talking about Ones to Watch. So for those of you that don't know, Ones to Watch is a promo where newly transferred players that have gone from one team to the other get special cards. Now these special cards go up every time those players get a inform, so a team of the week, and they rise basically, and they're usually the highest rated version of that card unless they get a headliner later on, which never really happens, or it never has happened, I don't think. But let's take a look at some of the transfers and why it's important. We're going to go over Ones to Watch trading in more detail in the next sort of week or two as we build in towards FIFA 22 coming out. But I do want to go over a little bit and what you should be thinking about right now. But basically, I picked out some of the best transfers and we're starting in the Premier League. Some obvious ones and a couple of curveball ones that I want to talk to you guys about, which are important. But this transfer window, in my opinion, was unlike any other. It was absolutely incredible. And the Premier League has seen a huge amount of transfers, influx of transfers of really good, really meta cards and cards that are going to be infinitely usable at the start of the game. So you've got Lukaku who's now at Chelsea, Ronaldo at United, Sancho at United, Saul at Chelsea. Grealish obviously went over to Manchester City. Bailey, really good, well, in my opinion, going to be a really good early game card. Great pace for him. He finds his way into a lot of Bundesliga teams. I think we'll see him now in Premier League teams at the beginning. He's important. We'll talk about him in a minute. Obviously, VARANE United, Daniel James, another one. We'll talk about these three cards, well, these five cards, really, in a minute. But these big cards, these excite me. The reason they excite me is because these cards are likely to get Team of the Weeks. And usually Ones to Watch becomes quite a redundant promo. A lot of the cards don't get boosted. It ends up being one of those ones. I remember Tonali last year, he got a card. It was a really good starting card. But because he didn't get any upgrades, it was a bit meh at the end. But a lot of these cards, like Jack Grealish, for example, they're going to get 100%, they're going to get Team of the Weeks. And so Ones to Watch has the potential this year to be great. And I think everyone's very excited for it. And that's why I think we're likely to see a drawn-out promo. I'll talk about that more in a second. But I think Ones to Watch will be a 2-week promo. There's no way, in my opinion, they do a 1 week. EA love money. Literally, it's like a magpie to silver. They love money. And there is no doubt in my mind with the sheer amount of transfers we see that. But what you need to look at, especially early game, if you've got some coins, are these lower rated but relatively meta cards. So Cornet, is it Maxwell Cornet, I believe his name is? Yeah. He's just signed for Burnley. And the rumour is that he's going to be, obviously he played wing back last season. He will be a wing back. Now, an 87 pace plus maybe wing back in the Premier League, it's always going to be in demand early game. And this card, it will be impacts at the beginning of the game. But once it goes out of packs, you'll see it rise quite quickly because even the Ones to Watch cards should be relatively spenny. It's not going to be a 100k card, but a 20, 30, 40k card. People haven't really got those coins early on to spend on a fullback. And so his gold, I think, will rise quite solidly in value. Someone like Hwang Ki-chan, this guy's gone under the radar massively with transfers. I think it's a very good signing for Wolves. It is Wolves, yeah. But he is, well, this year was, he might not be next year, but he's very pacey. A 93 pace striker last year. In the Premier League, a 93 pace striker is going to be in demand. If you think of Rodrigo last year, he had quite a heavy price on him. Rodrigo, in my opinion, was one of the best cards at the beginning of the game last year, and Hwang has the exact same potential as that. Again, out of packs he'll do really well, but I actually think he could do quite well as a once-to-watch card, because if he does even once or twice gets an inform, his strong link into Heung-min Son, who's going to be in most people's teams early on with the 5-star weak foot, is massive. He actually does have a link. I mean, people are saying, oh, he's South Korean. It's irrelevant. He's going to have that link to Heung-min Son. People might want to link the two of them up. Like Konate, again, 74 pace at the beginning of the game for a centre-back is pretty decent. It's not incredible, but it's decent. And again, if he maintains a low rate, and he'll probably get a boost because he's at Liverpool now. But again, another really, really, really good card early game that you can invest in once you've done your trading. You want to do your trading first, and you'll see loads of videos on that. Loads and loads of videos teaching you guys how to make coins the moment the game drops and how many coins you can make. And then you might want to invest in cards to hold on to, because I think they'll rise quite quickly. Daniel James, 95 pace last year. Played for United last season, has gone to Leeds. He probably sees a little boost. Because he's gone to Leeds, you haven't got the big 4 tax, and that makes him sort of higher rated. But I can't see him really dropping off too much. Again, that sort of pace, early game, he's going to be wanted. And like I say, Bailey, 94 pace again, he'll be brutal at the beginning of the game. Arguably more usable than someone like Grealish. How many people are going to use a Grealish? He's probably got a bit more pace this year. He'll probably get a bit more. I think Bailey's probably going to be one that people are going to use over Grealish, for example. That's just, it seems obvious to me. But outside that, obviously, the big transfers and players like Lukaku, Cristiano Ronaldo, Varane, they've all got potential, Sancho, to get informs and become better and better cards. And that's why I'm excited. But the reason why I think it'll be a 2-week promo is because that's just the Premier League. And there's more in the Premier League you can pick out. I've just picked out a few. If you go to the rest of Europe, there are so many big transfers that came out of this transfer window. I mean, PSG alone absolutely killed it in the transfer market. And they picked up Messi, Ramos, Wijnaldum, Donnarumma, Hakimi. They've all gone to PSG. That's 5 players alone. Now, will all of them get a once-to-watch? I highly doubt it. But this is an opportunity for EA to do Messi and Ronaldo. I don't think they'll do them at the exact same time. It's why I think that it'll be a 2-week promo. But Messi and Ronaldo both having once-to-watches is a potential thing this year. It would be utterly insane to start FIFA with that as an option to pack. Sergio Ramos, Wijnaldum, I think he'd probably likely to get one. I don't think they'll give one to Donnarumma. I don't see a point. Hakimi potentially, but that's just PSG alone. Then you've got Dumfries. He's just gone to Inter Milan, I believe it is. He had an unbelievable Euros, and I think he'll get a good boost on his card this year. Again, he's a FIFA fan's favourite. Him in the Serie A could do relatively well. Tomori, obviously, massively pacey centre-back. Again, anyone building Serie A teams is going to want someone like him, maybe linking to Manolas for that pace. And then you move into the Bundesliga, just specifically looking at Bayern Munich here. You've got Upamecano, again, 77 pace on a starting centre-back. He might have more or less this year, but he'll still be pacey. Sabitzer was a great all-round card last year. He's now gone to Bayern. Again, I can't see why they wouldn't do a 2-week promo based upon all of these players. And then over into La Liga, there's loads of transfers in La Liga. I've just picked out 3 that I think are the big ones to look out for. Griezmann's obviously gone over to Atletico, left Barcelona to Atletico. We don't know what his rating's going to be, but either way, he's an infinitely usable cam at the beginning of the game. Depay, obviously a big one, 5-star skill moves. He's gone to Barcelona, and they'll probably want to try and squeeze him in somehow. And Alaba, he's gone obviously from Bayern Munich to Real Madrid. I'm pretty sure he can still get ones to watch, even though they changed it over early on. But what I think about this year's ones to watch promo over other years is there's going to be less redundant cards, in my opinion. I can't see why EA would basically pad it out with sort of iffy or worse cards when they don't need to. There's so many good cards available. And like I say, EA love money. Anyone does as a business, I guess. But EA are going to want to, in my opinion, get as much going at the beginning of the game as possible. And so a 2-week promo, I think, will happen. But I also think it will not be padded out with crap this year. I think there will be a lot of good players. Obviously, a lot of these players might have different ratings next year. They might have higher ratings, lower ratings. But it's something to look out for. The way in which you trade with these, and there's going to be a whole video on that, is basically buying the ones out of packs and holding them until they're out of packs. Especially cards, if there's no left back in the Premier League, say Cornet, I think it is, gets a left wing back card or a left back card, and there's no other real pacey left backs. You've got Firpo from Leeds as well as an option. He'll rise a lot in value because people want pace in their team early on. Similar with right mids, similar with left mids, those sort of things. Varane, for example, is going to be highly in demand at the beginning of the game. If you remember last year, him and Mendy had that strong link. They were extremely expensive. Varane will still be expensive this year, even without that link. If anything more, because his Premier League is going to absolutely, in my opinion, rocket. Out of packs will do well if you manage to get a really good coin total going. But that's really the way you start by trading with them. But then once the ones to watch come out, they're going to get continual supply, and that's when you can buy them with undercuts. We'll talk about that in more detail in the video. But ones to watch has the potential to be an extremely, extremely like good promo. I'm very hyped for it. I'm very excited for it, just because of the cards on offer this year. It would be insane to have a Ronaldo and a Messi option. That would be incredible. I don't think EA turned that down, in my opinion. I think they go for that. I don't see why they wouldn't. It might mean that they, I don't know, have a lower starter rating because of that. There's a potential for that. But yeah, ones to watch is looking hyped as anything. It's going to be incredible. Massive, massive amount of videos coming out on trading, on grinding them, all that sort of stuff as we sort of get closer towards FIFA 22. There's also going to be a getting started video for you guys to teach you how to get started on FIFA. And that guide will also go on the website, completely free to view. All you've got to do is make an account, which costs £0 whatsoever. But make sure you join the Discord down below to join our community. It's a great place to learn to trade, all that awesome stuff. Make sure you check out the videos. Make sure you follow me over on Twitch and Instagram. But for now, I'm out. Peace out. I'll speak to you soon.